Good morning, dear students. So, in the unit number 1, we have already learned what is a assembler. So, today we will start unit number 2, that is loader. Now, for this unit, you have to refer a book that is System Programming by Donovan. Okay, John Donovan. It is yellow color book and it is your reference book. So, you have to refer it. Now, what is a loader? So loader is nothing but a system software that brings a program into main memory and prepare it for a execution. See, what was the job of an assembler? It translates a assembly language program into a machine language program. Or whenever you execute any C file, after compilation you get an OBJ file. But unless and until you do not bring that OBJ file into an main memory and you do not make it executable, you will not get an output. So here a loader is going to play a role. So what loader will do? Loader will bring your OBJ file into an main memory and make it executable. Now there are four functions associated with loader. Which are those four functions? Allocation, linking, relocation and loading. Now what is the meaning of allocation? Allocation is nothing but calculating a size of a program or length of a program and allocate that much space for that particular program in a memory. So whenever any OBJ file is given as an input to loader, what it does, it find out how much memory is going to required by that program and allocate that much memory to that particular program. The second function of a loader is linking. Now in a linking, what happens? The loader resolve all the symbolic references between the objects and link all the files together. The third and a very important function is relocation. Now as the word indicates, reallocation. So relocation is nothing but whenever any object program gets loaded at a different address location from its originally specified address location, we will say relocation takes place. For example, if I say that assembler has specified that store this program from memory location 100 to 200, but the memory location 100 to 200 is not available, then at that time what loader will do? It takes a decision that total length of the program is 100 memory word. So find out the location where 100 consecutive memory locations are available, and instead of storing your program from 100 to 200, it will relocate the entire program to that new place. So you will call this complete procedure as a relocation because the program has been loaded at a different place than its originally specified location by an assembler. And last function is a loading. The loading is nothing but to actually keep or place all machine instruction and data into a memory. So which are the four functions associated with a loader? Allocation, reallocation, linking and loading. As far as MCQ pattern exam is concerned, it is a very important concept. Now, as per your syllabus, there are different types of loader available, but in your syllabus, these are the general loader schemes which are mentioned. So, the first scheme is general loader scheme, compile and go loader, absolute loader, subroutine linkage, overlay structure, and relocating loader. Now, what is an general scheme loader? So, in a general scheme loader, translator performs the job of translation and creates an OBJ file. The job of a loader is to accept all those OBJ files, link those OBJ files and load it into an main memory and make it executable. Means what has happened with this general scheme loader? The job of a translation has been performed outside the memory, and loader will simply combine or link those all object file and put it or place it into the loader and make it executable. Now, advantage of this scheme is when a source program is taken into consideration, it can have a multiple subprograms associated with it, and all those subprograms may or may not be written in the same languages, isn't it? Because ultimately obj file is going to created for all subprogram. So the first advantage of a general scheme loader is what? It is possible to write source program with a multiple programs and a multiple languages. Second thing is, as translator is placed outside the memory, retranslation is not going to required every time. Therefore, it is we can say it will save the time. And third thing is, as translator is outside the memory, there will not be a wastage of memory, means it will save the space. Okay, so remember, general scheme loader, translator is placed outside the memory, program can have a multiple submodules in it, and all those submodules may or may not be written in a same program within a same languages, and therefore it is very easy to implement, and retranslation is not going to require as assembler is placed outside the memory. The next scheme is known as a compile and go loader. Now remember, in a general scheme loader, translator was outside the memory. Now in a compile and go loader, translator is placed in this main memory itself. So what will happen, whenever a compile and go loader will play a role, it will simply accept the input program or a source program. The translator, which is placed inside this main memory, will translate the program into an obj file and place it and make it executable inside the main memory only. Now, what is the difference between general scheme loader and compile and go loader? In compile and go loader, every time you will require to retranslate your program, because translator is inside the memory. So you cannot keep the program or obj file ready outside or at the secondary storage devices. Every time you need to retranslate your program. Second thing is, whenever a compile and go loader will work, प्रोग्राम शुड बी इन अ सेम लैंग्वेज, किसी एक ही लैंग्वेज में पॉसिबल है. Third thing is, as assembler is placed inside a main memory, it requires retranslation, therefore it takes more time and it is a wastage of space or a memory. So you can say disadvantage of the compile and go loader is, portion of memory is wasted as assembler is placed inside the main memory. There is no production of obj file. Every time a retranslation is going to required, and it cannot handle multiple source program or a program or subprograms written in a different languages. The only advantage of this compile and go loader is it is very simple to implement, because there is no specific task as such required. What compile and go loader will do, take the source program as it is, and rest of the task will be performed inside the main memory itself. The example of the compile and go loader is BAT4 Fortran compiler. So I hope you have understood the concept, and in our next lecture I will go with the next or the third scheme, that is an absolute loader. As far as MCQ pattern exams are concerned, the questions can be, what are the advantages and disadvantages of the compile and go loader, how it is differentiable, or what is the basic difference between compiler and go loader with a general scheme loader. So you have to remember, in one, translation is required, and whereas in compile and go, retranslation is required every time, isn't it? Thank you.